5 more boat drivers in Phuket test positive for methamphetamine use and shock results at Ao Por Pier. Phuket reels after a speedboat tragedy claims the life of a 5-year-old Russian girl. Shockingly, 5 boat drivers at Ao Por Pier tested positive on Wednesday for methamphetamine in a raid by tourist police. This further raises safety concerns. The boat captain involved in Sunday's fatal crash has also tested positive for the dangerous stimulant. Officials in Phuket are reeling just days after a 5-year-old Russian girl died in a speedboat crash. On Wednesday, authorities confirmed the driver of the craft was using a methamphetamine substance. At the same time, a surprise testing of boat operators at Ao Por Pier on Wednesday saw 5 drivers return positive results for the dangerous drug. Seen from Ao Por Pier on Wednesday, where tourist police carried out a raid and conducted snap tests on boat operators. Shockingly, 5 out of 64 tested boat drivers revealed positive test results for methamphetamine. At the same time, authorities also confirmed that blood tests on the captain of the speedboat, Akira 89 in Sunday's horrific crash tested positive for the dangerous stimulant. Inset, an investigation of the accident is currently underway. It is bad news from Phuket tourism and authorities emphasizing safety on the holiday island. Because, on Wednesday, it was confirmed that 5 boat operators at Ao Por Pier, a key maritime hub on Phuket's east coast, tested positive for methamphetamine. This comes just 4 days after Sunday's horrendous speedboat accident. At the same time, it is now confirmed the 41-year-old boat captain was using methamphetamine before the smash. 5-year-old Russian girl Liza Pak died in the high-speed crash on Sunday afternoon, which left others on the boat with horrific physical injuries. A 5-year-old Russian girl lost her life in the high-speed crash. It occurred off Maiden Island near Shillong Pier, on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. In short, the family were returning from a tour of the Phi Islands and Krabi, a popular tourist excursion. Afterwards, the dead girl was identified as Liza Pak. Indeed, Liza's family were all left severely injured. Among them a 45-year-old Russian woman with a punctured liver and broken pelvis, a Russian man with ruptured lungs, and a 3-year-old Russian child with a severe head injury. Surprise testing at Ao Por Pier, a busy departure point for tourists on the east of Phuket, identified 5 boat drivers using the methamphetamine stimulant. The latest news comes after snap tests conducted by tourist police. The tourist police conducted tests on a total of 64 boat operators at Ao Por Pier. Significantly, it too is a major departure point for island tours. The drug testing initiative involved the Phuket Marine Office, the Phuket Provincial Public Health Office, PPHO, and provincial security personnel. The tests were carried out to reassure foreign tourists of the safety of maritime activities. Russian girl dies as boat captain in horror speedboat crash tests positive for amphetamine substance. Phuket Vice Governor Norasak Suksambun, Phuket Marine Chief Nashabang Praneet, and personnel from the Internal Security Operations Command, ISOC, were present at the testing. The 5 boat operators who tested positive were immediately suspended from work. Additionally, they will be required to report to the PPHO main office for further action. Methamphetamine is a stimulant that has been at the center of countless fatal accidents and incidents in Thailand. Certainly, it is often a factor in cases where lives have been lost, particularly on Thailand's dangerous roads. Additionally, it is a major factor linked with criminal acts of violence. Officials confirmed in a weekly safety bulletin, made public on Wednesday, that the speedboat's captain also tested positive for methamphetamine use. Officials now confirm that the captain of the Aparak 89 speedboat, 41-year-old Nathat Wongwailai, tested positive for methamphetamine. The boat was returning from a trip to the Phi Islands and Krabi at the time. The Russian family was on board when it crashed at high speed into rocks at Koh Mathon. Concerns about the safety of maritime activities in Phuket have intensified over this and other speedboat incidents since 2020. In May last year, another speedboat crashed off Shillong Pier. Scores of people were left injured in that incident. Formerly, 2 Russian children also lost their lives in a 2020 speedboat crash at the Royal Phuket Marina. Boat smash in Phuket leaves 2 Russian children, a boy and girl, dead with 22 tourists hospitalized. Phuket speedboat involved in Tuesday's accident was seaworthy, but charges may still be filed. Tourist speedboat crashes into rocks as it returns to Phuket after day trip to Phi and Krabi on Sunday. The number of boat operators tested at Ao Por Pier contrasts starkly with the testing conducted earlier at Shillong Pier and Ratsada Pier. These tests took place last week as part of a safety promotion campaign on the island days before the fatal crash. Of course, this raises questions about the oversight and safety protocols in place. Questions raised about the nature of testing carried out previously as part of the island's security campaign given the shocking results on Wednesday. During safety checks only last Friday, top officials emphasized the need for rigorous testing. Especially so, given that over 5,000 people travel daily from Ao Pier alone. Meanwhile, this is where last week's tests took place. Ao Pier and Ao Piers are the tourist island's busiest. However, the number of operators tested at these busy piers is understood to be minimal. In any case, there are fears that many drug users manage to escape the dragnet. For instance, last week, there was only one positive result at Ao Pier. The admission that the captain of the Ao Por 89 tested positive for methamphetamine is devastating for the industry. Undeniably, Sunday's deadly crash raises real concerns about drug use among boat operators. The acknowledgement came buried in an official report on Wednesday. Ironically, this was a daily briefing for the 7 days safety campaign published on January 3. The report identified the boat captain as Mr. Natharuj, aged 41, contrary to previous reports naming him as Nathafong Kongwilai, 41. The captain remains in the hospital in serious condition. At the same time, 3 out of the 9 injured in the accident have been released. Concurrently, it has also been revealed that the boat's registration had expired. At this time, officials have coordinated with the insurance company to provide compensation for the victims. The father of the boat owner, who has worked as a boat operator for over 20 years, explained that the registration renewal was submitted but not completed. Phuket officials vow strict testing will be the order of the day. Perhaps Wednesday's shock tests show they now mean business in keeping boats drug-free. Phuket officials are vowing strict inspection of boat drivers and crew to restore confidence in the safety of tourists. Meanwhile, the speedboat Ao Por 89 has been moved to a local shipyard for forensic examination. An investigation is being led by officers from the Phuket Tourist Police and an expert boat inspector. Local officials have also addressed the subject of compensation for the Russian family. At this time, it is reported that the boat only contained Russian tourists. However, following the crash on Sunday afternoon, it was initially reported that there were 3 Chinese passengers. The same report specified 4 Russians. We have coordinated with the insurance company. Thailand has developed insurance to jointly provide full compensation and care for the injured and deceased. The province has coordinated with foreign consulates to care for tourist safety while traveling in Phuket, an official report declared. No one wants this to happen. To build confidence in the safety of tourists, we emphasize strict inspections of boat drivers. Boat crews must be ready to drive ensuring maximum safety of tourists.